Welcome to my YouTube channel where I sew all the things I can't afford, mainly the items in Kylie Jenner's wardrobe. Thank you for coming back. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to be answering the questions that I got from the Instagram poll that I did a couple days ago. I'm not really sure what day it is now and how far from a couple days ago this is, but I'm pretty sure we're like a week later from you guys asking me those questions. So let's jump right into it. Do your booty stink? Is this a serious question? Of course it does. I love this question. My favorite era or decade of fashion. I thrived in this era. I actually won Best Dressed in high school. Shout out to class of 2006. The late 90s, early 2000s streetwear era was my favorite. I mean, FUBU, Rockaware, Pele Pele, Evisu, True Religion. Dare I even say it, Sean John. What a mess. What a mess. I loved it. I loved the like baggy, swaggy, cool for the guys, and then I loved the more like glamorous take for the girls with like baby fat and Rockaware, of course, and apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club is looking at her. If you don't know that song, you ain't got no business being here right now. Bye. Leave. Leave. You're too young. You're too young. How did I learn how to sew? Are you ready? YouTube. Quite literally, YouTube. So some of you may know this. Many of you don't, because there are a lot of new people. Welcome. I love you for being here. But from 2017 to about 2020, which was like the height of the pandemic, I had a swimwear business. And it was getting way too expensive for me. The patterns and samples for one literally cost me like $400. The lady who was doing them for me, she was a master pattern maker, master sewer. But when I would get the patterns back, I would realize that it was literally like triangle, shape of my ass, strap in the back, strap here. And I was like, I digged further because no, I'm not gonna be paying you $400 for shapes. And I just got on YouTube, typed in whatever I needed to find, whether it was how to make a pants, how to make pants, how to make a trench coat, etc., etc. And I practiced. Then there was a time when I was pregnant. I think I was like 6 months pregnant at this time. And my husband and I went to Nordstrom's and I saw this super cute $2,300 YSL purse. And my husband is very like not materialistic by any means. And so he was like, girl, are you for real? You can make that, like literally dead ass. And I was like, babe, really? No, I can't. He was like, yes, you can. So I tried it and I did it. Here's the video, me pregnant making it. And it came out so fire. And after that, I was like, oh, it's over for you hoes. Not you hoes, I mean like me, all the hoes in my head that, you know, that tell us that we can't. You get what I'm trying to say. Over for you hoes. So after that, it was like a wrap. I've actually been doing this for quite a long time. It's actually just now catching. I deleted all of my content at the beginning of the year, and so it might look like, oh, I'm starting fresh. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for like 8 years with no luck until now. So long story short, I learned how to sew through YouTube. I do have a couple people in the industry that are so good at what they do, sewing, pattern making, that I still reach out to from time to time. You guys may have seen it in my stories. My guy, Ramon, he sews for me all the time whenever I have something that I need to get made or mass produced. He sews it for me. And so I'll hit him up from time to time like, Ramon, I have a question about this pattern. Can I stop by? And he will literally stop what he's doing for me and help me try to figure it out, which is super sweet. So yeah. The next person says, I missed the stories, so it would be nice for you. Oh, it would be nice if you included the info you shared. And does it have pockets? The info that I shared, she's referring to me in the story saying, yeah, you guys saw the journey and everything that happened. So I actually made a video about the journey. I'm gonna try to link it here. I'm still new to YouTube. It's still confusing for me, but I'm gonna try to link it here. If it's not here, look in the comments or the description. But it's like basically everything that I kind of went over in my stories, all the trials, tribulations, struggles, etc., etc. It's there. And it does not have pockets. The reason I did it like that is because Carrie's did not have pockets, but it doesn't really have, it doesn't need much. I mean, it's, look at it. It doesn't, no, like, so no pockets, no buttons, but I think it would benefit from some gold buttons. No lining either. So the patches and the colors, I'm just gonna kind of let them speak for themselves until I find a good button. First of all, don't even judge me for this pin that I have back here. I have to get this dress tailored and I just didn't have the time, so I pinned it up. And don't even try to act like you guys don't be doing that either, pinning your excess fabric from your clothes that don't quite fit quite right. Also, other than me turning around, you would have never seen the back. So let's pretend like that, like we didn't even see that. Can I buy that jacket from you in a medium? Okay, here's the thing. I would love to produce this jacket in all sizes. Couple issues are the logistics though, right? So number one, my jacket was made with scraps. I don't have enough big pieces of scraps to produce another one with the scraps that I have. Number two, it is going to be impossible for me to even find those particular shades of colors of scraps again. So while I can reproduce the jacket, it's going to be a different color. It's going to be, the jacket's going to be different colors. But yeah, long story short, I would need to find different colors, different scraps, but you can't have my jacket now. Any beginner sewing tips, and do you have any recommendations for like beginner patterns? The best thing I can say for beginners is practice sewing your seams. Practice, practice, practice. Yes, in the beginning, the sewing machine is very intimidating. I literally would sew and the piece would just be all over the place because I didn't know how to control the presser foot. I didn't know how to control the piece of fabric, but I also didn't understand the where the seam allowances were on my sewing machine. Get used to the seam allowances on your sewing machine and learn how to sew straight. That is the best beginner piece of advice that I can give you. In terms of any beginner patterns, the great news is that I'm actually working on a lot of beginner patterns because I really want to teach women like how to be more self-sufficient. Fashion is like incredible right now and it's also inaccessible, and I feel like because I know how to sew, it's accessible for me again. Like I can see an item online and it's like, oh, $150, and I literally go to the fabric store, get it for $15, take a couple days or weeks or months to sew it, and like boom, I'm in the game. Like I can keep up with fashion, you know? So I will be putting out some very beginner friendly patterns within the next 2 weeks. Go to my website, subscribe to my newsletter. I will definitely keep everybody that's subscribed posted to when I post new patterns. They're gonna be modern. You know, there are patterns out there that are like boring, yawn, like not stylish, not trendy whatsoever. Sorry. My patterns will be very stylish, very up to date. I will make tutorials. I also will be offering sessions for people who want to be guided through the entire process because it's a lot. But I would say that sewing is very much like somebody who doesn't know how to cook, but they follow a recipe and it comes out bomb. So like if you don't know how to sew, but you watch a tutorial, you read an instruction manual, boom, you know how to sew. And then from there, you kind of just learn what you need to know. And I think those are all of the questions. This was fun. I think my favorite question overall was the "does your booty stink?" question, because that person really understands my humor and I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.